Have you ever gotten your hopes about something just for it to end up falling through? We are on message 2 of a collection of talks called For the Dreamers, where we are diving into the life of Joseph, who is really the forefront of dreamers in the Bible. So I got my hopes up kind of recently about something that honestly, some of you guys will probably relate to. It was around November of last year, November 1st, when Taylor Swift announced her Eras Tour.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
And I was so hyped. I've been a Swiftie for my whole life. Like since 4th grade, teardrops on my guitar. I went to multiple of her concerts, was so excited. Eras, it's gonna be all of them. And so of course, me and my sisters who have been to concerts together were like, we're going to this, we have to do it. Dad, we need your help. And so my dad goes and he gets like the Capital One card so that we're able to get the early admission into getting tickets. And he ends up waiting in the queue for 6+ hours, waiting for tickets. And I'm on the other side, waiting in the queue. We're so excited. Like I feel like my life is gonna be complete when I go see Taylor Swift Eras Tour, just to have Ticketmaster crash. Maybe you can relate to that. Maybe that happened to you. Ticketmaster crashed. We did not get tickets. We tried. We kept trying. My dad's calling. Nothing is happening. We don't get the tickets. But I decide, you know what? I'm not going to give up yet. A lot of the times you can get concert tickets closer to the concert day. Normally people will sell them for a crazy amount and then the day of the concert they'll drop. So I'm just keeping my hopes up. I'm like, for my sisters, we're gonna get tickets. It's gonna be fine. If anything, we'll do the outside stadium concert thing. Maybe you did that. I am so jealous of you. It sounds so fun. So it gets to the day of the concert here in Seattle, Washington. She has 2 nights of concerts and I'm looking online. I'm like, okay, here we go. Tickets, okay, they've dropped. They were $1,500 for behind the stage. Now they're $700 behind the stage, which is still a pretty insane amount.
So much money, wow.
Guys, they did not drop. Those concert tickets did not drop. It's been an hour into the concert and it's still $700 to sit behind the stage. So I could say I was a little bit disappointed, felt like we did everything right. We tried our best and still got disappointed and didn't get to go to the concert. Maybe there's something in your life, it's probably a little bit more serious, but it feels like you've been hoping for something for it to just not end up coming through. Maybe you're hoping for your parents to reunite. Maybe you're hoping to be on the varsity sports team, and yet again, year after year, you do not make it and you end up feeling disappointed. Well, last week we talked about Joseph and we started talking about his story. And if you weren't there, I wanted to give you a little bit of a recap. But Joseph was this guy who had 11 brothers. First of all, imagine 11 brothers. Like that's a lot of brothers. I can only imagine. I have 2 sisters and that already feels like a lot. They do not like him a ton because he's actually his father's favorite. And imagine your parent has a favorite, maybe it feels like they do. You're not really a big fan of that sibling. But to make matters even worse, Joseph has this dream and he tells his brothers, you're all gonna bow down to me one day. Like, can you imagine your brother or your sister telling you, hey, you're gonna bow down to me, I'm pretty much gonna be your king one day. Like, you already don't like them, now you don't like them more. So his brothers decide to do this thing where they sell him into slavery. That's pretty crazy. They sell him into slavery and Joseph ends up working under this master who actually really, really likes him. But Joseph finds himself in this kind of sticky situation. We'll talk about that another time. And he gets thrown into jail. He gets thrown into jail for actually something that someone else did. Someone else's crime, someone else's sin. Joseph finds himself in jail. So Joseph is in jail. He's at a low point. Felt like he had this dream. And now he finds himself sold into slavery and in jail.
Maybe not a prison break.
Prison break! Prison break! Yeah!
Like Joseph in prison, you might feel like you found yourself at a low point. You've been running with confidence, this dream that you feel like God's given you, yet you still find yourself in a hard place, feeling disappointed. But I want to encourage you today that God's delay is not him denying you. He's actually working on you in the process. What I love so much about this story is even when Joseph goes to jail, it says that God was with him, that God actually works everything together for good. Anything that Joseph does, God works together for good. The world discourages anything uncomfortable. But the reality is that a lot of the dreams that God gives us, can feel dangerous. There can be kind of a steep price to pay. You see that in Joseph's life. He has this dream, yet here he finds himself in jail. But what's on the other side of that dream is a promise that God fulfills.
I promise. I promise.
I know for myself, I had a dream not that long ago, actually. It was a couple of years ago where I found myself in this waiting season. I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I knew what I was passionate about, yet there was trial after trial and I was not getting there. But I felt like God said, no, this is what I have for you. Just wait. Just be patient. And it got to this point where I kind of felt like I was at my breaking point and I called out to God. I'm like, God, I need you. I need to see you in this. And I ended up getting to do my passion again. He provided this opportunity for me. But what I realized, honestly, on the other side of it was I learned to rely on God in a whole new way during that trial. And maybe you're in a point right now where you feel like God has given you a dream, where there's something that you're passionate about and you're excited about, but it feels like you continuously get disappointed. You continuously are hitting your breaking point. You're continuously being ridiculed for it, whatever that looks like. Can I encourage you today that God is with you, just like he was with Joseph in jail? He is with you, he is for you, and he's going to fulfill the dreams that he's put in your heart. Church Home Youth, we love you so much, and we're going to see you again the next message.